when he saw the symptoms, what he did? How he received the age of Kali? Before we go to this chapter of how he punished, what was the chapter entitled? Punishment and reward for the age of Kali. The 17th chapter is punishment and reward. So how the age of Kali was received by Maharaj Parikshit? No, we covered this chapter yesterday. We completed it. बोलो देखने क्या जरूरत है? Whatever we have, discussed, heard, what we remember. पुरुषोत्तम प्रभु, कैसे महाराज परीक्षित ने कलयुग का स्वागत किया? भागवतम है ना आपके पास? भागवतम रखते हैं? बुक रखिए सब लोग. Everyone should have the book Bhagavatam in their, hands. क्या हुआ? सब म्यूटेड है? No one wants to speak? How he received the age of Kali? बोलो मनोराम प्रभु, you have been hearing.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So, as Maharaj Parikshit took over the kingdom, so gradually there was decline in religious principles, and he could see that the personified of Kali as a king. So he was like a Sudra and he was killing uh, cows. And by seeing that, Maharaj Parikshit was very much upset. So he thought of that he will go out and wherever these religious principles will be there, he will start conquering. So he
Yeah.
started traversing, and in while traversing he got something good, that he could hear uh, about the good
Very
qualities of
simple. He prepared
person.
himself to conquer. And he took his bow and arrow and prepared to fight. This is how he received. He was not going to give up to the influence of Kali. Rather, he wanted to drive the Kali out of his regime. This is very important. Okay. So let us see now further in the 17th chapter. Punishment and reward. Punishment and reward of Kali. Suta Goswami continues to speak. Suta uvacha tatra go mithunam raja hanyamanam anathavat dandahastam chavrashalam dadarshe nipalanchanam. Suta Goswami said, after reaching that place, Maharaj Parikshit observed that a lower caste Shudra, dressed like a king, was beating a cow and a bull with a club, as if they had no owner. The word here is Hanyamanam Anathavat. Hanyamanam Sharire. You remember? Huh? Na jayate mnite va kadachin. Na jayate mnite kadachit va bhavita na bhuyo. Hanyamanam Sharire. Hanyamanam is that which is beaten to death. Such severely he was beating as if he will beat both the cow and the bull to death, especially the bull. Tatra go mithunam. So the go mithunam is both the cow and the bull. And he was beating so severely as if they were anathavat, as if they had no owner. There was no one to protect. So at that time, when this Kali was creating this uh, kind of atrocities to the cow in the form of Mother Earth and bull in the form of religion, and he was being attacked or beaten by the Shudra king, that is the Kali. So Parikshit Maharaj reached there, and he was very disturbed to see the situation, as if that the cow and the bull had no owner. So who is the natural owner? Who is the protector and the guardian of every one of the citizens? Is the king. So Parikshit Maharaj is right there. He is the king. He is the one who is the protector and owner of both the cow and the bull. And in his presence, he saw that Kali personified is troubling them or is beating them. The principal sign of the age of Kali is that a lower caste Shudra, that is man without Brahmanical culture and spiritual initiation, will be dressed like administrators or king. So Prabhupada, this is one of the principal signs that there will not be any capable ruler or capable leader. Capable leader means that he should have Brahmanical culture and should have spiritual initiation. Will be dressed like administrators or king, and the principal business of such non-Kshatriyas ruler will be to kill the innocent animals, especially the cow and the bulls, who shall be unprotected by their masters, the bona fide Vaishyas. So the sign of Kali is that the administrators will not be Kshatriyas. The Prabhupada said they are non-Kshatriyas. Because Kshatriya means that they should be guided by the Brahmanical culture. If there is no Brahmanical culture, the Kshatriyas cannot be guided. So they are not Kshatriyas in real sense. And nor are there any Vaishyas, because it is the duty of the Vaishyas to protect the cows and the bulls. In the Bhagavad Gita 8:44, it is said that the Vaishyas are meant to deal in agriculture, cow protection, and trade. Vanijyam go rakshaha. In the age of Kali, the degraded Vaishyas, the mercantile men, engage in supplying cows and bulls to the slaughterhouses instead of protecting them. The Kshatriyas are meant to protect the citizens of the state, whereas the Vaishyas are meant to protect the cows and bulls and utilize them to produce milk and grain. The cow is meant to deliver milk and the bull is meant to produce grain. Thus, the cow and bull are the mother and father of human beings. Very important. So Prabhupada compares the importance of these two. These are not to be treated as animals. Actually, the cow and bull are to be respected as father and mother. Why? Because what the father does, the father earns. The father earns the livelihood so that the grains and the food can be supplied from his earnings. And what the bull does, because of the bull, the grains are cultivated from the land, from the Mother Earth. And with the grains, the family can be nourished. They can be maintained. So the bull is compared to the father, and cow is considered to be the mother because cow gives the milk. And will milk all the children, they are nourished. So if the cow is the mother and the bull is the father, they are meant to be protected. But now what the Vaishyas are doing, they are selling the cows and the bulls for the slaughterhouses. They are killing the father and the mother. The mother and father must be given all protection and are not to be killed. But in the age of Kali, the Shudras class of men are in the post of administrators. And the cow or the bulls or the mothers and the fathers unprotected by the Vaishyas are subjected to the slaughterhouses organized by the Shudra administration. So Prabhupada was very, very vocal, very strong to what the current civilization is. The current civilization is killing its own father and mother. Next. Vrishna Mranaladhavanam Vrishna Mranaladhavalam Mehantam Iva Bhibhyatam Vepamanam Padayakena Siddhantam Shudrataditam. The bull was as white as the lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. So much cruelty was shown by this personified Kali that he already broke the three legs. And it is described how was the bull. It was as white as the white lotus flower. But because of the beating and chastisement of the Kali, he was terrified and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg because the three legs are broken. And he was trembling and urinating. He was so much terrified, was so much afraid that he was trembling, and also in the trembling state he was urinating. The next symptom of the age of Kali is that the principles of religion, which are all spotlessly white, like the white lotus flower, will be attacked by the uncultured Shudra population of the age. They may be descendants of the Brahmana or Kshatriya forefathers. But in the age of Kali, for want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom, such a Shudra-like population will defy the principles of religion. And persons who are religiously endowed will be terrified by such men. They will declare themselves as adherent of no religious principles, and many ism and cult will spring up in Kali Yuga only to kill the spotless bull of religion. The state will be declared to be secular or without any particular principle of religion, and as a result, there will be total indifference to the principles of religion. The citizens will be free to act as they like without respect for sadhu, shastra, and guru. That the bull was standing on one leg indicates that the principles of religion are gradually diminishing. Even the fragmental existence of religious principles will be embarrassed by so many obstacles, as if in the trembling condition or falling down at any time. We can see this situation very vividly in this present scenario of age of Kali. We can see what is mentioned here. Exactly this is what is happening in our neighboring countries. Those who are following Krishna consciousness, how they are being harassed or how they are being threatened by such lower than Shudra people. When the administrators, they are blind. Instead of protecting what they are doing, they are pampering such people. This is a clear symptom of the age of Kali. That anyone who is following the religious principles, he will be subjected to so much harassment and tribulations. This is what we see. This is exactly what is happening. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, predicting. So the fragmental existence of religious principle will be embarrassed by so many obstacles, as if in the trembling condition of falling down at any time. Gamascha dharma dugdam dinam prashanam shudra padahatam vivatsam ashruvadanam shamam yavasam ikchatim. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by a Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. So the first symptom was that those who are unqualified as administrators, they will be in the position of administration. And what the Vaishyas will do, instead of following their dharma, their religious duty of protecting the cows and the wool, they will sell it. They will sell it to the slaughterhouses. And then we saw that the dharma, those people who are following the religious principles, they will be harassed. They will be harassed by the Shudra or below the Shudra people. Now the third symptom Prabhupada is saying, the next symptom of the age of Kali is the distress condition of the cow. Milking the cow means drawing the principles of religion in a liquid form. The great rishis and munis would live only on milk. Srila Sukdev Goswami would go to a householder while he was milking a cow, and he would simply take a little quantity of it for subsistence. Even 50 years ago, no one could deprive a sadhu of a quart or two of a milk. Quart, is measurement. Like we say, na, pawa, 250 grams, 250 ml. And every householder would give milk like water. It is a duty of every householder who is a Sanatanist. See, Prabhupada coined the word Sanatanist when? In 1960s. Now people are trying to use this phrase. What does Sanatanist mean? Prabhupada explains. A follower of the Vedic principles. People now want to be Sanatanist without following the Vedic principles. What is the Vedic principle? Here Prabhupada is mentioning that no householder would ever refuse a sadhu for any kind of supply of foodstuffs or milk. So it is the duty of every householder who is a Sanatanist to have cows and bull as a household paraphernalia. Not only for drinking milk, but also for deriving religious principles. The Sanatanists worship cows on religious principles and respect Brahmanas. Namo Brahmane Devaya, Go Brahmane Hitaya. Krishna is known as one who is the protector of the cows and the Brahmanas. In the form of, these are the two in the form of religious principles. The cow's milk is required for the sacrificial fire. And by performing sacrifice, the householder can be happy. Not only is the cow and her calf beautiful to look at, but the calf also gives satisfaction to the cow. And so she happily delivers as much milk as possible. But in the Kali Yuga, the calves are separated from the cows as early as possible for purposes which may not be mentioned in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is so much embarrassed that he says that the calves are separated from the cows as early as possible for purposes which may not be mentioned in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. The cow stands with tears in her eyes. The Shudra milkman draws milk from the cow artificially. And when there is no milk, the cow is sent to be slaughtered. These greatly sinful acts are responsible for all the troubles in present society. People do not know what they are doing in the name of economic development. The influence of Kali will keep them in the darkness of ignorance. Despite all endeavors for peace and prosperity, the people will fail to achieve them unless they try to see that the cows and bulls are happy in all respects. Foolish people do not know how one earns happiness by making the cow and bulls happy. But it is a fact by the law of nature. Let us take it from the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and adopt the principles for the total happiness of humanity. What is the principle of the total happiness of humanity? As per what we discussed, in these 3 verses? Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, to protect and serve cow and bull.
Yeah, we should maintain. Every householder who is a Sanatanist, Prabhupada says, must maintain a cow and bull and keep them happy, to be happy. This is the peace formula. This is the, not peace formula, this is a formula to become happy. And if we do fail to do that, we can never ever experience any happiness. Hare Krishna. प्रपृच्छरथम अरुधा कर्ताश्वरा पृच्छदम मेघ गंभीर्य वाचा समोरोपिता कर्मुका. Maharaj Parikshit, well equipped with arrows and bows and seated on a gold embossed chariot, spoke to him the Shudra with a deep voice resounding like thunder. So when he encountered such a situation, Maharaj Parikshit challenged the Shudra. An administrative head or king like Maharaj Parikshit with full majestic authority, well equipped with weapon to chastise miscreants, can challenge the agents of the age of Kali. Then only will it be possible to counteract the degraded age. And in the absence of such strong executive head, there is always disruption of tranquility. The elected show bottle executive head, as representative of the degraded public, cannot be equal with a strong king like Maharaj Parikshit. Prabhupada is saying, such a strong executive head is required, a strong leader is required. And if you don't have such a king, such a monarch, a Raj Rishi, then what do we have? Prabhupada says we have an elected show bottle executive head as representative of a degraded public. How are they elected? By popular vote. So they can never be compared with a strong king like Maharaj Parikshit. The dress or style of a royal order does not count. It is one's action which are counted. It is very important that instead of having this popular kind of vote system to elect a less than Shudra to be an administrator is counterproductive. On the other hand, if we have a monarch, if we have a strong leader, a king, who is a Sanatanist, who is a representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the entire citizens will be well protected and there is possibility for them to advance in the spiritual path. कस्त्वामे चरणे लोका बलाद्धंसी अबलम बली नरदेव असि विशेषेण नातवत कर्मानंद विजय. Who are you? Oh, who are you? You appear to be strong and yet you dare kill within my protection those who are helpless. So Maharaj Parikshit is roaring. By your dress, you pose yourself to be a God-man king. But your deeds, you are opposing the principles of the twice-born Kshatriyas. So immediately, Maharaj Parikshit challenged him. The Brahmanas, Kshatriya and Vaishyas are called twice-born because for their higher classes of men, there is one birth by parental conjugation and there is another birth by the cultural rejuvenation by spiritual initiation from the bona fide Acharya or spiritual master. That is called second birth. That is initiation. So a Kshatriya is also twice born like the Brahmanas and his duty is to give protection to the helpless and chastising the miscreants. Whenever there are anomalies in this routine work by the administrators, there is an incarnation of the Lord to re-establish the principles of godly kingdom. In the age of Kali, the poor helpless animals, especially the cows, which are meant to receive all sorts of protection from the administrative heads, are killed without restriction. Thus, the administrative heads, under whose noses such things happen, are representative of God in name only. Such powerful administrators are rulers of the poor citizens by dress or office, but factually they are worthless. They are only in the name only, not with substance or quality. Such powerful administrators are rulers of the poor citizens by dress or office, but factually they are worthless. Lower class men without the cultural assets of the twice born. No one can expect justice or equality of treatment from once born, spiritually uncultured, lower class men. Therefore, in the age of Kali, everyone is unhappy due to maladministration of the state. The leaders of the modern human society are not twice born by spiritual culture. Therefore, the people's government, administered by people who are not twice born, must be the government of Kali, in which everyone is unhappy. So, Prabhupada is saying here that in today's world, none of the leaders are qualified. None of them fit to their position. They are all degraded. They're disabled people. They don't qualify for the post that they are holding. Why? Principally, what is the reason that they are all disqualified? Prabhupada says the word, they are maladministrators. Why is it so that they are all disqualified? None of them qualify for the leadership. What is the reason? Prabhupada cites two reasons. What are the two reasons? Sonika has already answered. What about the others? What are the two reasons cited in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam? बोलिए अभी just we discussed. Yes, Madan Sarup Prabhu.
One is they are not twice born, meaning they are not trained
They are not.
about the religion. They are not twice born, meaning by they are not trained into
Yeah,
the religious principles.
they're not initiated. Twice born means in particularly initiation. They have not accepted a spiritual master. They're not guided by the Brahmanas. They are acting whimsically. Very important that the Kshatriyas must be within the guidance of the Brahmanas. They should be initiated. This is one very big deficiency. What is the second?
Second is everybody is Sudra, and they do not have qualities of upper ashramas.
Or more in specific, what is the deficiency? Yes, Purushottam bro.
Hare Krishna, they are spiritually uncultured.
Yes, they are spiritually uncultured. They do not have any spiritual culture. They do not observe any spiritual culture. So everyone is unhappy. Okay, going forward. यस्त्वां कृष्णे गते दूरं सह गांडीवा धान्वना सोचे अस्य शोचयान रहसि praharan vadham arhasi. You row. Hmm. Do you dare beat an innocent cow? Because Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the carrier of the Gandiva bow, are out of sight? Since you are beating the innocent in a secluded place, you are considered a culprit and therefore deserve to be killed. This is how he received the age of Kali. He chastised him heavily and threatened him to kill. In a civilization where God is conspicuously banished, and there is no devotee like warrior like Arjuna, the associates of the age of Kali take advantage of this lawless kingdom and arrange to kill innocent animals like the cow in a secluded slaughterhouses. Such murderers of animals stand to be condemned to death by the order of the pious king like Maharaj Parikshit. For a pious king, the culprit who kills an animal in a secluded place is punishable by the death penalty. Exactly like a murderer who kills an innocent child in a secluded place. This is how the cow and bull are to be protected, just like a normal citizen. Tvam va mrinala dhavala pade nyuna pad charana prisha rupen kim kaschet devo na parikhedayan. Then Maharaj Parikshit asked the bull, "Oh, who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus, or are you a demigod? You have lost three of your legs, and you are moving on one only. Are you some demigod in the form of bull who are causing us to grief?" Seeing the condition of bull, Maharaj was so much aggrieved. So he says that, "Are you some demigod in the form of bull who are causing us to grief?" At least up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, no one could imagine the wretched condition of the cow and the bull. Maharaj Parikshit therefore was astonished to see such a horrible scene. He inquired whether the bull was not a demigod, assuming such a wretched condition to indicate the future of the cow and the bull. Na jatu kauravendrana doradanda parirambhite bhutale anupatanti asmin vinate praninam sucha. Now, for the first time in a kingdom well protected by the arms of the kings of the Kuru dynasty, I see you grieving with tears in your eyes. Up till now, no one on earth has ever shed tears because of the royal negligence. So Maharaj Parikshit was so much aggrieved, he took it personally. He said that it is for the first time that I see you grieving with tears in your eyes in this kingdom of Kuru dynasty. It is maintained and protected by the Kuru kings. Up till now, no one on earth has ever shed tears because of the royal negligence. So he's pointing out to himself as royal negligence by the king. So Prabhupada says the protection of the lives of both the human beings and the animal is the first and foremost duty of a government, of the king. A government must not discriminate in such principles. It is simply horrible for a pure-hearted soul to see organized animal killing by the state in the age of Kali. Maharaj Parikshit was lamenting for the tears in the eyes of the bull, and he was astonished to see such an unprecedented thing in his good kingdom. Man and animal were equally protected as far as life was concerned. That is the way of God's religion, Lord's kingdom. Ma saurbheya atra sucho वेतुता वर्षलद्भयं मारोदेरं भद्रं ते खलनं मयि शास्त्री. O son of Surabhi. Surabhi is the celestial cow. So he said, Saurabhi. O son of Surabhi, you need not lament no longer now. There is no need to fear this low-class Shudra. And O mother cow, as long as I am living as the ruler and the subduers of all envious men, there is no cause for you to cry. Everything will be good for you. Protection of bulls and cows and all other animals can be possible only when there is a state ruled by the executive head like Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit addresses the cow as mother for his culture. This is what it means, a spiritual culture. Wise born Kshatriya as king. Surabhi is the name of the cow which exists in the spiritual planets and are specially reared by Lord Shri Krishna himself. As men are made after the form and features of the Supreme Lord, so also the cows are made after the form and features of the Surabhi cows in the spiritual kingdom. In the material world, the human society gives all protection to the human beings. But there is no law to protect the descendants of Surabhi, who can give all protection to men by supplying the miracle food milk. But Maharaj Parikshit and the Pandavas were fully conscious of the importance of the cow and bull, and they were prepared to punish the cow killer with all chastisement, including death. There has sometimes begun agitation for the protection of the cows, but for want of pious executive heads and suitable laws, the cows and bulls are not given protection. The human society should recognize the importance of the cow and the bull and thus give all protection to these important animals. Following in the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit for protecting the cows and Brahmanical culture, the Lord, who is very kind to the cows and the Brahmanas, Guru Brahmane Hitaya, will be pleased with us and will bestow upon us real peace. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. So in this section, we see the importance, not just the importance, the prime duty of all the administrative class of men. And not only the administrative class of men, those who are also having the occupation of being the Vaishyas, the mercantile men. It's the prime duty to serve the cows and the bulls. Hare Krishna. Any question or discussion? Yes, Madan Swarup?
Prabhuji, in verse number 3, Prabhupada said that milking cow means drawing the principle of religion in a liquid form. Here,
Yes.
milk is compared to a drawing religious principles.
Yeah.
So how do we understand this?
Okay. I'll try to explain with one Srila Prabhupada's purport. Okay. Yeah, this is Prabhupada's lecture on Bhagavad Gita in Geneva, and he's talking about Varnashram Dharma. This is June 6, 1974 in Geneva. So here this they say, Prabhupada says how they will be happy. It is not possible. Most sinful activities, you produce your food, the bull will help you and the cows will supply you milk. They are considered to be father and mother. This is what we were discussing. Just like father earns money for feeding the children, similarly the bull helps producing, plowing, producing food grains, and the cow gives milk. Mother. And what is this civilization? Killing father and mother. This is not good civilization. It will not stay. There will be catastrophe waiting. Many times it has happened. And it will happen because transgressing the laws of nature or laws of God is more sinful. That is sinful. Just like you become criminal by transgressing the laws of state. Similarly, when you transgress the law of God, then you are sinful. So this example is idam shariram kshetram. That means to own a certain piece of land is the basic civilization. Everyone must have a portion of land to produce his food. There will be no economic problem. Here Prabhupada is saying that the cow will give us milk. That is, we all know. The cow will supply you milk. So the cow also represents the most purest form of religion. Why? Because the religion is to protect the cow. And when we serve the cow, then we are serving the religious principles. And what the cow naturally gives, there were two aspects which were mentioned. One was that the cow, their calves are being killed. And Prabhupada said that we cannot mention the reasons in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when the calves and the cows are taken care, when the cows are happy, they'll give us profusely milk. And the cow milk, when the humans drink, what is the effect of the cow milk in the human life?
It nourishes the body and intelligence.
Yeah, the brain tissue. Prabhupada said it nourishes the brain tissues. So it nourishes the brain tissues so that one can understand scriptures. Otherwise, that is why people fail to understand what are scriptures. And when one has that brain tissues, when they have that awakening and consciousness to accept the religious principles, so what he will do? He will abide by the religious principles. And the religious principles can be practiced. So without having cow milk, where is the possibility of following the religious principles? So with the cow milk comes the possibility of following the religious principles. So what we are drawing in the form of milk from the cow is religious principles.
Religious principles.
Yes. Fine.
Thank you, Vijay, for
That
nice
is why, that is why we don't have genuine cow milk, and that is why there is no one who can understand Shastra. Everyone says Shastra is beyond me. I cannot understand Shastra. I met someone today, very pious person, very, very pious person, a very well-to-do person. He helps us in shipping books to Kumbh Mela. I went to his house today for the first time. Lives in Friends Colony. Big businessman, very pious businessman. So I was discussing Bhagavad Gita with him. Simple-hearted person. He said, I want someone who can explain me Bhagavad Gita. I said, elderly person, he's around 70. But he said, whenever I try, my intelligence fails. That is true, he's honest. He's an honest person. Others, they do not even try because they know it is within, it is the outside of the preview of their intelligence. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is outside the preview of human intelligence. It cannot be understood by human intelligence. It requires spiritual intelligence. So how to receive that spiritual intelligence? It's through this miracle food. Prabhupada, that is why he always uses the word miracle food for cow milk. What is the miracle it creates? It makes the human intelligence elevate to spiritual intelligence. To connect and to accept the teachings and the religious principles of the Shastras. So now there is no cow milk. Now there is no intelligence. And so there is no possibility of any religious principles being followed in this society. So everyone is now fallen, degraded. Hare Krishna. Good that you asked. So how we can have cow milk? No one even in the none of the even brahmachari is willing to do any go seva. Everyone wants to pat the cow and the calf and get a photograph and put it on his his status. And no one wants to serve the cow. Where will there be cow milk and where there will be intelligence? Very, very precarious condition. Very precarious condition. Yes, Sonika.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned that everyone must have one cow, one
If
bull,
one is a
and
Sanatanist, see, Prabhupada is using the word if one is a Sanatanist. If one is a Sanatanist, he must have a cow and a bull. Not just
also.
derive milk from it, but to protect it and serve it.
So, Prabhuji, my question is, in current scenario, how can we serve cow and
Yes,
bull? How
very good.
can we get the
Very good.
opportunity?
Yeah. So how it will be practically possible for us, those who are in cities, having this very tight life. So what we can do, at least once in a year, 3 days or 4 days, we should go to our goshalas, be there and do voluntarily service. If not throughout the year, then at least few days. And we should give some donation for cow protection. I remember my mother forced me. He was asking me for many years to maintain one cow and a calf. I said, where can I maintain? Then I found if there is a will, there are always the ways. We found one good Gaushala of our ISKCON society. So there, and this time also when I went there, I saw the cow and the calf well maintained. So we have to support them. So one maintenance is being given. And of course, we are not directly taking care, but at least we are supporting, contributing in some way. Those who are young, they can also do some service. And one other way of doing the service is to spread this culture and to create awareness. At least give up meat eating. Don't slaughter. The Prabhupada is so uh, vehemently speaking about the uh, Shudra population, the non-Vaishyas, malpractices. Why? Because they are meant for protection. Many times we feel that I am Brahmana. Or sometimes we say, oh, I have a Kshatriya spirit. Better if you can even become Vaishya. It's Go Raksha. So in different ways where we can participate to bring about awareness and to be able to do some service in some ways. I know one of my known person, the big businessman, he has 2, 3 electronic showrooms, big showrooms. So what he has done, he has kept one, donation box for Go Seva. So he puts every day some money and his customers also put some money there and that he gives to the Goshala so that they can do some Go Seva. If there is a desire in the heart, there are so many ways to do it. Don't consume this artificial ghee. So many times I tell all of my devotees, you take only the pure ghees of the Goshalas. Why are you taking the commercial ghees? Try to minimize the consumption of the ghee and only take cow ghee. That way you are also supporting the cow. Those who are maintaining the cows. We should contribute and support those who are genuinely doing this seva. If not directly, at least indirectly. So these are the ways we can do it. Hare Krishna. We also have a shop. In our shop, we have cow products. So many Goshalas. Buy those products which are genuine. Don't buy artificial products. Contribute. I remember still in my house, my mother still first chapati that she prepares is meant to be given to cow. It's called go grass. The first preparation of the food, it should be given to the cow. Although it is more in name only now, not much of a substance, because it's very difficult to find the cow. Where to go and get the cow to offer that chapati. But at least that culture should be preserved. Hare Krishna. क्या हुआ मोहा? क्यों रो रही है? Oh no, it is not from Moha. This is Pradeep's daughter. Okay. So give your child genuine cow milk. How can you give genuine cow milk when the cows are being butchered? They're all artificial milk. So preserve a cow, those who are from the village background. You support your family members so that they can keep cow. And at least once in a while from the cow get ghee. If not directly milk, then get some ghee. And utilize that ghee in worship of Krishna and in preparing prasadam. Some intelligence will be rejuvenated to understand these religious principles. Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Manoram Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So when you feel you can present?
Prabhuji, if you kindly allow this Thursday, Prabhuji, on 9th, can you present?
You yesterday you said 2 days, now you have extended 3 more days. You are acting smart. Trying to act.
2-3 days, I told Prabhuji. If I
Yes.
can prepare, I'll try, Prabhuji, to finish it by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Tomorrow is what? Tuesday, no?
yes, Prabhuji.
You present on Wednesday. Okay, I'll give you 2 more days.
Yes, Prabhuji.
See, try to understand, it is not the presentation part in terms of embellishments. You understand what is embellishment? No? The decoration is not important. The substance is more important. Don't get lost in the show, but please focus on the substance. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. You are all coming for your chanting session morning. Who amongst all of you? Pranab, do you come?
Not often, Prabhuji.
Why?
2 days I joined, Prabhuji. 2 or 3
When
days.
you are not on duty in the morning hours, you should chant together.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
What
Whenever
is
I
the
at home, I join.
At least you are not there on duty every day morning from 6 to 9.
No, Prabhuji.
Then,
Tomorrow I can join.
yeah. You see, it is for all of you. This initiative is for all of you to improve japa. And if you don't give your japa seriousness, I can guarantee you cannot continue to chant 16 rounds. It will never happen. So it is a very good initiative that you all come together and help each other to see to it that at least your chanting is done in the morning hours. Then you have opportunity for hearing, reading, sharing, preaching in the evening. Otherwise, the entire lifespan will be over. The struggle will be to chant 16 rounds. And that also will be keep sleeping. We will be sleeping and sleeping. These 2 things will happen. Sleep and sleep. So to come out of that situation, this forum is there. Manini Mataji, you have started to join?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, कल से ज्वाइन करूंगी प्रभु जी।
वाह, अभी तक वेट ही चल रहा है, अभी वेटिंग टाइम चल रहा है। क्या बात है। हरे कृष्ण।